It's your boy Zay-P, Zay-P the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. From the individual to the many, from the many comes the all, and the all is one. And so your boy's back at it, back with a brand new video. I wanted to touch base and connect with everybody out here just to share some love at this time. At this time, I just want to take a minute to connect and bring forward some healing for the collective, because I'm feeling personally, as I work through my own muddiness, my own density, all of my crap and issues, there's call for more healing, for more compassion, and just for more energetic assuaging of the situations. So in this moment, I'm going to take some time to offer such a healing for the collective, a bit what you would get in a Reiki session, also a guided meditation, also channel in the channeled state. So before I get into that, just a quick reminder, doing my due diligence. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe or follow on IGTV or YouTube. It's your boy Zay-P, the I am. If you want to work with me one-on-one on Facebook, I do one-on-one sessions there, as well as doing live streams where we offer up weekly healings and energy work and things of that nature. So that's over on facebook.com/Iam.Zay-P. With that said, I'm going to fall back. I'm going to tune into the energy and start to work with what wants to come forth. Take some deep clearing breaths with me. Easy breaths in and out. In. Last one. And out. And so for this past week, I've been feeling a bubbling of energy. This intensity right below the heart space. Sitting right in the pit of the stomach, almost connected to that worry center. Right between the solar plexus and the sacral, this place where we tend to collectively and individually store all of our fears and worries, where we lock up, we clench. You know, you may even experience this in your core, where the abs will clench up when you're experiencing that fight or flight. Collectively, as we've been facing our dark, as we've been facing our fears, they've been clenching up. And there's more fears and worries rising to the surface, and we're experiencing it all. And a lot of us are coming to terms with what a lot of these fears are. And a lot of the changes that are coming forth, that's weighing heavily on our hearts. And this sense of mourning and loss comes in that we need to release. We need to allow ourselves the compassion and the love to acknowledge the losses, to acknowledge the pains and the ways that all of the chaos around us has been weighing on us. Now's the time to take that in, to feel that, and not repress it, not hold on to it, but to acknowledge it and love ourselves enough to own it and transmute it. And we can only start with that through acceptance, through looking at our situations, through looking at our stumbling blocks, through looking at our hurdles and obstacles and starting to accept them. Forgiveness can be a big hurdle. And so sometimes we start at acceptance. And so here in this heart space, I'm connecting with this theme and idea of acceptance, accepting what has happened to you, accepting the changes that are occurring, even though they may not feel fair. Even though the inner child wants to scream out, this is injustice, this is unright, this is not fair. We allow ourselves to acknowledge that and to own it and to feel that. And to feel that there is an indignity here. And it is worthy of being heard. But to move through that, we accept it. We begin to accept it. We begin to forgive around it. If we can forgive people, if we can forgiving circumstances, if we can just simply forgiving ourselves for being stuck in this situation, for dealing with this energy, for having our hearts broken, for being vulnerable to be exposed to this as though it is a weakness. But it is not. It is not a weakness to feel, and so we must own it and accept it, because there is strength in this. All is leading to strength, and so we pull it out. We pull it out of our heart space, and we allow it to be released. Accepting and forgiving, letting go. And some of us may take on certain practices such as writing down our issues, writing down our blocks, writing down the things we want to let go of, so that we may burn them, so that we may allow that transition, that energy to be released, to be transmuted, to be dispelled. And some of us may take time to ground ourselves stillness to the earth, knowing that Gaia, the mother, supports you. To connect with energy, to connect directly with spirit, the feeling in your heart that tells you that this too shall pass, that feeling that tells you that God, that source, that love is with you, is in you. Some may align with this: the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Mother, the Daughter, the Holy Ghost, the id, the ego, the superego. Some may align these things in order to work through the fear, to let go. Some may get physical. Some may need to express through exercise, through dance, through anything to push it out. But we must flush this energy out of us. Because as we flush it out of us, then we come to the peace. Then we come to the peace that allows healing. And it is time to let that energy flow out. And so the healing we need, the replenishing healing, can come in to start to sew and mend the cracks in our hearts. And as we let this light in, as we let this love feed into our heart space directly from the divine source energy, knowing that we are bolstered, knowing that our light matters, knowing that our presence matters, knowing that whatever losses we may perceive, they are only so that we may have space for the victories to come, so that we may have open hands to receive in abundance, so that we may create untethered from the past, the denser the old, creating in this new energy these newfound structures that will be the foundation for life of years to come. And so we continue to sit in the heart space, cocooning our hearts with love, with that acceptance and that compassion, acknowledging our mourning, acknowledging what we've missed out on, what we feel we may have missed out, and breathing into the possibilities, breathing into the knowing of what is coming, breathing into the acceptance that although we may have lost, there is still so much more for us. There is so much more to us, so much more to be discovered. And that all things that may seem lost unto us are simply taken away as an opportunity for us to find them again within the resonance of our being, within the resonance of our soul, for all that we wish for in the external lies within. And when we come into the peace and when we come into the balance of who we are, that balance between the mourning and the acceptance, that balance between the pain and the forgiveness, we come into the peace that allows that healing, and we come into the love. This is when we get to transcend that energy. This is when we get to create from this newer space, this newer place of open possibilities. For those things that are old, that we let go of, that slipped through our fingers, that were simply ephemeral. Those things are now potential energies for the new, for creating what really is in resonance with who you are, what really is meant for you, what is really truly in store for your greatest good and for those around you. And so take up this mantle, take up this fire with pride, knowing that the divine is with you. The divine is within you. That fire, that flame, that spark is pouring out of you. But first we had to uncap the filters. First we had to let go of the blockages of pain. And so as you do this energy work, as you do this forgiveness work, as you do these shadow practices, as you do this releasing, this full moon energy, as you release it all, know that in the cracks, the true light of your soul, the true sparks of the divine are flowing through to feed into the new, to feed into the potentiality of what is to come. Just like the phoenix, from the death, from the decay comes birth. And through that birth of love, that birth of the new, this is where your greatest creations will lie. So take heart, dear ones. Allow yourself to receive divine energy, the divine energy of source, the divine energy of oneness. Internalize that into that divine energy of wholeness. This is your energy. You are directly connected with source. You are the divine being. I merely open these channels for you to continue to receive more of yourself. Your journeys are just beginning. There's so much more to come. Keep the faith. Take heart, knowing that you are transitioning through these dense energies beautifully. Have compassion for yourself, regardless of what you're feeling, regardless of what is happening. Relationships falling apart, places of live, structures of foundation, your root chakra feeling uprooted. Your flames of passion feeling doused, feeling disconnected from your sacral, feeling uninspired, uncreative, impassioned. These blockages clear. Having a lack of clarity in your sense of self, not knowing where to begin, not knowing who you are in this moment because you feel detached. These blockages clear. Feeling disconnected from your own love, from your own self. Feeling nothing but the pain and mourning. We open these blockages and we allow that pain and mourning to come out. To accept, to forgive, and to love. That these blockages clear. Opening up the throat to allow truth, to allow our truth, to allow our light to be seen, spoken, and heard. For it is worthy, it is divine. And it is mandatory, it is necessary, it is as you are, as I am, truth to be expressed. So express your truth, it is valuable. And into the third eye, and into your visions, into allowing your sight of what is possible beyond the mourning, beyond the pain. Feel into, know into, intuit into that which you wish to create. For it is all possible. It is all possible now, in accordance with the divine will, in accordance with the divine self, which is the self of all selves. And this connects into our crown, where this divine knowing, where this understanding comes in, allowing this free-flowing thought and expression to be pushed through the physical vessel, grounded into the earth, so that you are a fully realized whole being, holding yourself in a compassionate cocoon, loving yourself, so that you may begin to step into and create this new world, this new experience, this new reality, away from the what's no longer serving you, away from what's meant to be mourned, because it was meant to be let go of. This time of pain and transition is not one of punishment. It is a gift of your growth. So step into your growth and own your experience, own your power. You are grander than you even imagine, and it is time to step up and step into your truth. You are divine. You are worthy. Take hold of your wholeship. For as you know that you're whole and there's nothing wrong with you, there is nothing lacking, you can create miracles. So